It's a multi-billion-dollar industry.
It makes more revenue than all professional football, baseball, and basketball franchises combined.
It is the sex industry. KMBC9's Jerry Gish joins us with a look inside one part of the industry that may surprise you. Jerry?
Well, Larry and Laura, everyone has their own ideas about exactly who works in the sex industry. The truth, though, may surprise you. And tonight, we're not going to talk about the internet, but rather an older technology. Phone sex in and of itself is still a billion-dollar industry. And we talk with the Metro woman who owns her own phone sex company. She says the person on the other end of that dirty phone call could be your next-door neighbor.
We have sexy girls of every size, shape, and sound.
It affords me freedom that I have never known in any business before.
We'll call her Kaylee. Her customers don't know what she looks like, but they know her voice. She's a phone sex actress. Kaylee actually owns her own phone sex company that operates this website from here in the Metro. But she hasn't always done this. About 8 years ago, she worked in insurance. Her company hit hard times, she needed money, and phone sex became an option.
Talking and I joked. I said I could do that. I was a performing arts major in college, and I can play anything.
She resisted at first.
I had visions in my head of what, you picture a phone sex person to be, and it's like, I am not that person.
But she ended up giving it a try. Her first call wasn't easy.
I was so embarrassed that I curled up in a chair and put a blanket over my head so my dog wouldn't look at me.
But she stuck with it, and now she still does phone sex, but also has 12 employees, women all over the country who work out of their homes. They come from all walks of life.
Mostly we have single mothers, some married mothers whose husbands are totally supportive. I just hired a loan officer, a woman who had been a loan officer for 20 years.
It could be your neighbor next door.
It is your neighbor next door.
Kaylee's business grosses more than $300,000 a year. She says her employees can make $1,500 a week or more. But this obviously isn't a typical job.
When someone asks me what I do, if I have to judge them, can they handle it?
And Kaylee has her own way to deal with the phone conversations she has with clients. She colors.
I always stay in the lines, and I'll take a coloring book, and I'll just sit there and I'll color while I'm talking.
Obviously, the phone sex industry is controversial, with critics who say it exploits women and pollutes our society. As you might imagine, Kaylee has a different view.
I personally think that the women or men who might think that this is exploited from women don't see the true nature of the business. I feel empowered. I'm a dominant woman in a business, running a business that puts a lot of men in their place, taking care of urges that they need to talk about and get out of their system, and then they can go on and be a regular banker or a dad or a soccer coach or something.
Now, Kaylee also emphasizes that she takes steps to make sure that minors don't use her service. In fact, she says she will call parents if she thinks somebody underage has called the line. She's done that on numerous occasions. Back to you.
Well, Jerry, quick question for you. Is there any kind of danger involved for the women who work these sex operators?
Yeah, there can be. The danger kind of comes in if they don't remain anonymous. And Kaylee has a very strict rule at her company that the women not give out any personal information. The problem comes in, of course, if a client wants to meet in person, and that, of course, can turn dangerous very quickly. Laura?
Yeah, that's for sure. Thank you, Jerry. Well, we have an online poll on our website. It asks, have you ever called a phone sex line? To take part in the survey, just log on to KMBC.com.